Mary Shelley didn't just write a ghost story. She wrote a prophecy. In 1818, a 20-year-old girl sent a scientist and his monster shambling into our cultural bloodstream. And for 2 centuries, we have been trying to carve our own versions of that nightmare. But Guillermo del Toro arrives late to this party. With a project he has chased for a decade, he isn't here to give us a faithful adaptation of the book. He is here to reshape it. His Frankenstein is not a story about a mad scientist in a lab coat. It is a brutal autopsy of a damaged man who decides his pain entitles him to godhood, and the creation who is forced to pay the price. To understand why this version bleeds differently, we have to look at the woman who started it all. Mary Shelley was born in the shadow of death. Her mother, the feminist icon Mary Wollstonecraft, died just 11 days after giving birth to her. Mary grew up reading her mother's books on her mother's grave. She learned early that creation and destruction are often the same act. By the time she wrote Frankenstein at age 19, she had already buried a premature child. She knew the cold reality of a body that refuses to hold life. When Del Toro adapts this text, he strips away the Hollywood lightning bolts and returns to this core trauma. His film argues that monsters aren't born, they are made by fathers who refuse to be fathers. Del Toro opens not in a lab, but at the end of the world. 1857, a Danish expedition ship trapped in the crushing ice of the Arctic. This is our first deviation. In the novel, Captain Walton is a romantic dreamer. Here, Captain Anderson is a pragmatist watching his men freeze to death. Into this frozen stalemate stumbles Victor Frankenstein, played by Oscar Isaac not as a hysterical genius, but as a man hollowed out by his own story. And he is not alone. The film wastes no time. The creature, played by Jacob Elordi, announces himself not as a shadow, but as a titan. He boards the ship, he kills 6 men in seconds. This is crucial. Del Toro forces us to see the violence before we hear the excuse. We see the carnage first, so when Victor begins his confession, we already know the cost of his ambition. Victor's story told in the ship's cabin reveals a childhood rewritten. In the book, Victor is loved. In the film, he is neglected. After his mother dies in childbirth, a direct echo of Mary Shelley's own life, Victor is left with a father who looks at him and sees only disappointment. This is the psychological engine of the film. Victor doesn't want to cure death to save humanity, he wants to cure death to prove he matters. He wants to succeed where God failed. Enter the film's most cynical invention, Heinrich Harlander, played by Christoph Waltz. There is no Harlander in the book. He is a pure Del Toro addition, an arms dealer who treats corpses like commodities. Harlander funds Victor's experiments, but not for science. He is dying of syphilis. He wants Victor to build him a new, immortal body to inhabit. This changes the moral geometry of the entire story. The science is no longer noble, it is funded by war profiteering and the desperate vanity of a dying man. The creation sequence itself is stripped away of its glamour. Victor hijacks a storm, yes, but the result is messy. Harlander is killed in a petty struggle. The great experiment is born in a pool of blood and a burning tower. And when the creature wakes, there is no "it's alive" triumph. Victor looks at his creation, confused, halting, infantile, and feels only disgust. He doesn't see a miracle, he sees a chore. He chains the creature in the dungeon. This is the film's golden rule. The true horror isn't the monster's face, it's the creator's indifference. While Victor lies to his family and tries to bury his past, the creature escapes. And here, the film achieves its most heartbreaking sequence. The creature flees into the woods. He is a patchwork of dead men, but he behaves like a frightened animal. He finds the cottage of a blind man. In the novel, the creature learns language by spying on a family. Here, the relationship is intimate and direct. The blind man cannot see the scars. He hears only the voice. He teaches the monster to eat, to speak, to understand music. For a brief window, we see what the creature could have been if he had been met with love instead of chains. But this is a tragedy. The world interferes. A wolf attack and a misunderstanding and the arrival of the blind man's family turn this sanctuary into a slaughterhouse. The creature is shot, beaten, and driven out. And this is where Del Toro adds a terrifying twist. The creature discovers he cannot die. He has a regenerative healing factor. He is immortal. What Victor intended as a gift is actually a curse. He cannot even escape his pain through death. He is condemned to exist. The paths converge. The creature tracks Victor down. The demand is simple. Make me a companion, someone to share this eternity with. In the book, Victor agrees, then destroys the female mate. In the film, Victor refuses point blank. He frames it as a moral stand, but we know the truth. He is terrified of losing control again. The violence that follows is inevitable, but note the inversion. In the book, the creature kills Elizabeth, Victor's love, on their wedding night. In the film, Victor tries to shoot the creature and accidentally shoots Elizabeth himself. It is the ultimate irony. The man who tried to conquer death becomes the agent of death for the only person he loved. Victor Frankenstein is the true destroyer. Which brings us back to the Arctic. The chase destroys Victor. He is broken, frozen, and dying on Captain Anderson's ship. But the ending is where Del Toro debates Mary Shelley. In the book, the creature mourns Victor and drifts off to die. It is bleak. Del Toro chooses grace. Victor, with his dying breath, does not curse the monster. He apologizes. He says, "I am sorry," and the creature, he forgives him. The film ends with the creature using his immense strength to push the trapped ship free from the ice. He saves the crew. He chooses life. As the ship sails away, the creature stands alone in the sunlight. He is tragic, yes, but he is not a monster. Mary Shelley wrote a story about what happens when we abandon our creations. Guillermo del Toro retells it to ask, is it ever too late to forgive them? The answer is, perhaps, in the eyes of the monster watching the sunrise over a world that never wanted him, but which he saved anyway.